So I saw this morning, Tom Brady's contract's officially out, and I just want to give you the particulars on it. Pretty interesting. 2 years and $50 million, all guaranteed. $9 million in incentives, like he needs it. $4.5 million per year in incentives. It also prohibits trades. You can't trade him, Tampa. Here's the interesting part. It includes a clause that prevents the Buccaneers from tagging him after 2 years. Means Tom wants to play beyond the contract. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but here's something I pay attention to just in normal day-to-day walk-around life that maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not saying it's any great talent. I just watch. I look at older people and how they've aged. And you can look at somebody and tell their life choices by about 50. Did they drink too much? Did they eat too much? Do they work out? Are they stressed too much? Have they taken care of themselves from teeth to body to shape? People to Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's the doctor standing next to our president during the press conferences, 79 years old. Looks unbelievable. Still jogs 3.5 miles a day. You can look at him and you can say, this is a guy that reads, that walks, that moves, that eats right. You can look and listen to him. This is where LeBron James is year 17 in the NBA, still the best player because he's taking care of his body. LeBron James, he's a better player than Giannis. Giannis doesn't shoot like him, handle the ball like him, and pass like him. Those are 3 of the 4 biggest things in the sport. Kawhi Leonard, he doesn't pass like LeBron. He doesn't handle the ball like LeBron. He's not the overall player of LeBron, and he doesn't play as often as LeBron. LeBron's the best player in the league. It all starts with how he's treated his body. Tom Brady is a young 43. He's the Anthony Fauci of quarterbacks. He's the LeBron James of NBA players. He doesn't drink a beer during the season, I can assure you. Every other quarterback does. Every other quarterback does. Drew Brees may take care of himself. He lives in New Orleans. He has a cocktail or two September through January. At least a couple. So Brady's unique. You walk around, you see people all the time. And I always think it's cool when you see somebody that's like 65, 68 years old, and you're like, wow. And they could be a dentist. They could be a landscaper. But you're like, oh, they've taken care of themselves. Tom Brady is unique. A stat came out this morning that Tom Brady and Jameis Winston, the quarterback who he's going to replace, had the exact same number of completions and attempts on deep passes thrown into tight windows last year. They were both tied for first. And that's Brady playing with below-average wide receivers. Tom Brady is likely going to have the best completion percentage in the NFL of throwing the ball down the field and completing it. Because Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are probably. They're the best tandem at wide receiver in the league. They are. That's the best tandem in the league. He gets them now. He goes from below average, rookie, Edelman, Mohamed Sanu, Philip Dorsett, to the 2 best. And his body is different. LeBron's body is different. Russell Wilson spends $1.5 million a year on his body. LeBron spends that or more on his body. Brady does the same. It's your ultimate investment for anybody. But as a pro athlete, it's everything. And whereas a Cam Newton, his athletic ability was a disproportionate amount of his success. As that erodes, Cam's not the same quarterback. There's no market for Cam now. He's hurt, and he's not as gifted physically due to the injuries as he used to be. So there's no market for him. Tom Brady has never relied on athletic ability. What Tom Brady has done, and I'm sure he's thought about this, but if I said 3 or 4 things that Brady has relied on, pre-snap reads, those get better with time, experience, accuracy, work ethic, brain power, leadership, calm under pressure. None of those are affected by age. So when people talk about deep ball, his arm is not what it used to be. This morning I wrote down the 6 biggest arms in the NFL. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Buffalo, Carson Wentz, Philadelphia, Matt Stafford, Detroit, Aaron Rodgers, Packers, Big Ben. By 7, you're splitting hairs. Tom's certainly in that 7 and beyond range. In terms of accuracy, Drew Brees, Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr. Then you're splitting hairs. Folks, Joe Burrow is supposed to be the best prospect, I'm told, coming into the NFL draft at quarterback. The knock on him, his arm's okay. Tony Romo's the comp. Tony had a better arm. Tom Brady has never relied on athletic ability to be great. And he has taken care of himself. You'll see this all the time. There's somebody in your social circle. Maybe they have a little better DNA. They don't drink as much. They work out every day. Sometimes you tell your wife, they're crazy. That guy works out every day. He's a little, but look at him. He ages better. I've had people in my life I look at, they age poorly, they age better. So none of the things that would really have Tom falling off a cliff as a quarterback he's ever relied on. Cam Newton, it's different. I'll give you an example, the NBA. In the NBA, shooters can last forever. Ray Allen, Dirk Nowitzki, they can last forever. Derrick Rose and Tracy McGrady relied on their athletic ability. They fell off a cliff as players. I mean, the minute John Wall or Derrick Rose suffers an injury, they're not the same player because Derrick Rose and John Wall are not shooters. Russell Westbrook will probably not age particularly well in about 4 or 5 years. Ray Allen, play forever. Dirk Nowitzki can shoot forever. Steph Curry, as long as he doesn't get a major injury, could play into his 40s. So when I look at all these numbers coming out today, Brady does not, you can't franchise tag him because he wants to play beyond this. And just look at LeBron James. Use LeBron as your barometer. 17th year in the league. He is, think about the people that came out into the league when LeBron did. Carmelo Anthony never took care of his body. That was always the knock on Carmelo Anthony. He didn't work that hard on the defensive end. He was never in great shape like a D. Wade or a LeBron or a Ray Allen. He didn't age well. He fell off a cliff. You're like, oh, he's a borderline all-star. Oh, he can't play at all. That's Cam Newton, semi-committed. There's some skills there, but Cam, injuries, never really worked on his mechanics very well, never really improved his accuracy. So he goes from, starter, winning games to overnight. No market for him. Brady's going to be fine. He's going to be wildly productive. Now, are they going to get into the playoffs in Tampa? That two things will have a huge impact that Tom can't control. One, injuries. What if his O-line falls apart? It happens. This was the first year Tom Brady had a bad O-line with injuries. He wasn't the same quarterback. Nobody seems to talk about that. He missed his left tackle, his center, and his fullback. The running game wasn't as good. They relied on Tom and weapons, and their weapons stink. The second thing about playoffs for Tampa, Tom has no control over this. Special teams. The average score in the NFL is decided by 4 points. Tampa Bay, historically bad special teams. Last year, 29th. They were bad in everything. You can lose a lot of games. Bad snap, blocked punt. Tom, there's nothing Tom can do about it. But Tom will do his part. Tom will have big numbers next year. Now, the downside is with the coronavirus, will there be an OTA? Will there be a preseason? Will there be camps? That's vital because receiving and quarterbacking is all about timing. Running back is not. Receiver-quarterback relationship is timing-based. But anybody doubting Brady's going to go there and chop it up and that Brady can't be successful. Now, he and Drew Brees, and I've seen this and said this for multiple years, they are not as effective late in seasons. They're not. Now, some of that is Tom plays outdoors. It's harder to get loosened up. Tom is going to need to rely on his receivers and tight ends, and the Bucs will probably draft a tackle and a running back. But I do think as you age, you can still be great, Joe, though just not on the treadmill. I mean, Kobe Bryant's last game, he dropped 60. That year, though, last year, he played 66 games. And in 5 or 6 other games, he played 15 to 18 minutes. So he was a much more rested player for his final night, which he scored 60 points. Tom can still be great. Can he be great for 19 weeks if they made a run at the Super Bowl? Those are the issues going forward. But if you think he's not going to be productive, you're out of your mind. He's going to be incredibly productive. Injuries and special teams will dictate if they get to the playoffs. Because Tampa's had a lot of injuries, and Tampa special teams are crap and have been forever. Tom will be fine.